She just admitted it. If you're Trump, don't tweet about riots. But if you're an Iranian tweeting about a mass genocide, that's A-okay. Ladies and gentlemen, what's going on with the tech tyrants is the free speech issue of our time. Now, to be clear again, because liberals always want to conflate and confuse the issue, I am entirely aware that this is not a government First Amendment issue. These are private companies. Can we just put that out of the way? So the liberals who aren't that smart, the double-digit IQ ones like the 200 members plus of Congress who managed to all get elected at the same time despite their double-digit IQs, I get it. It is not a First Amendment issue. It's not a government entity. They are private companies. Having said that, these private companies are afforded protections by the government. And if they're going to use those government-provided protections to sanction free speech and to censor people, then we're going to ask questions. Fair enough? Everybody understand the distinction? Fair questions, right? The tech tyranny is real. I'm going to show you some screenshots from YouTube, what YouTube does to my show. What did I tell you yesterday? Joe, what did I say? We talked yesterday about the tech tyranny and the censorship. Yep. I promised you our show was going to get throttled, right? I'm going to show you the numbers to prove it in case you think I'm just making this up. First, let me get to this Washington Examiner article because I don't want to make the whole segment about me. It's about other people, too, that are suffering. Washington Examiner. Breitbart. Their editor was on the Tucker Carlson show last night. Their editor-in-chief. They're accusing Google of systematically blacklisting conservative websites. Are you trying to cover my face there? You don't like what? Paula, you see what she did? If you're watching us on YouTube, I don't know. Paula got tired of looking at me or so. She put the Washington Examiner piece right over my face. So this Breitbart editor-in-chief was on Tucker and is accusing Google of blacklisting them. Before I get to the screenshot from the piece, basically Alex Marlow was on last night on Tucker and in essence said this, that Joe, if you go to Google and put in whatever, Joe Biden, Trump, 2020 election. Don't fix that. No notes. That was funny. I like that. No fixing. Drew, do not fix that. I enjoyed it that she put the thingy over my face. No fix. I see her taking notes. So Marlow was on Tucker's show last night and said, if you put in Biden, Trump, 2020 election, and Breitbart has a really kind of article, a good article, you get what I'm saying? That article is not going to appear until you're like 72,000 pages into the search results. Well, why not? Breitbart's an established right-leaning website. Why wouldn't they appear? The Daily Caller, another website I use a lot. Great stories. They've had people over there, Chuck Ross and others, who have been way, way, way ahead of the news breaking on the Spygate stuff. Why aren't they on page 1 or 2? Ladies and gentlemen, just try it. If you think I'm messing with you, just try it. Just go to Google, this left-wing tech tyrant site that does everything it can to squash you. Just go there and put in 2020 election. Scroll down until you finally, on page 462, get to Fox News. Try it. See where Breitbart is. Maybe it's page 6, 7. I mean, obviously, I'm being a bit hyperbolic, which I shouldn't. But it's happening. From the piece, here's how this works. Google has this visibility index. It works similarly to the Nielsen rankings for the past 4 years, and the data shows the systemic bias not only against Breitbart, but other right-of-center outlets. Marlow said that if an average person searches for phrases associated with the presumptive 2020 Democratic presidential nominee, the chances of you getting a Breitbart article are virtually zero. Folks, I've seen this before with my own website at Bongino.com. If you don't put in Biden Breitbart or Biden Bongino.com, you're not going to get any of our articles, despite the fact that we broke the Spygate story 4 years ago. You won't get any of that. You have to put in our name specifically. You'll get Bloomberg, CNN, the Washington Post, the New York Slimes, conspiracy theory sites. The ones that were caught like Cicilline lying about this case. You'll get them first. Folks, this is really happening. There's a war going on right now for the ability to speak freely on platforms supported by the U.S. government. And let me tell you something. To Google, Twitter, Facebook, and others, you're toying with the wrong folks. People talk. People talk to other people. People know what's going on. And if you think there isn't a battle plan going forward, you are sorely mistaken. You say, okay, so now we've established that Google is pretty much throttling and censoring Breitbart and the Daily Caller and others. Well, what's going on with Twitter? Well, I've been warning you about Twitter forever. Again, it's why I'm involved with Parler. Here's a Twitter rep at the Israeli Knesset. She's asked, this is amazing video. How this has not gone mega viral. I know, you've seen it. Joe, of course, gets to cheat. He sees the video before the show. A Twitter rep is asked by a member of the Israeli Knesset, so the Ayatollah Khomeini and the Iranian Death to America crowd can tweet about homicidal genocide against Jews, Israel, and elsewhere. That's okay. But when Trump tweets about the riots, you have to put a warning on his stuff. He's like, we just want to get you on the record there. And listen to the Twitter rep. She's the female talking at the beginning. Listen to her incredible response on this. Check this out.
We have an approach to world leaders that presently say that direct interactions with fellow public figures, comments on political issues of the day, or foreign policy saber rattling on military economic issues are generally not in violation of our Twitter rules.
Calling for genocide is okay, but commenting on politics is not, just so we understand. I just want to fine-tune the question. Calling for genocide on Twitter is okay, but commenting on political situations in certain countries is not okay?
So if a world leader violates our rules, but it is a clear interest in keeping that up on the service, we may place it behind a notice that provides some more context about the violation and allows people to click through if they wish to see that type of content. And that is what happened for the Trump tweet. That tweet was violating our policies regarding the glorification of violence based on the historical context of the last line of that tweet and the risk that it could possibly inspire harm and similar actions. And as it was in the interest of the public to keep that on the platform, we decided to keep it up, place it behind a notice, put the label on it, as you might say, to limit the interaction with it. But because it is of importance to have it remain so that the citizens can see what their political figures are commenting and hold them accountable for what they're saying online.
So that's important. I think that what's come up again and again through different examples is actually a sense of double standards. And I would implore Twitter and other online platforms to ensure, I think that's your responsibility and that you have to be held to account for that there is no double standard.
So I'm just checking here. Like, did that actually happen? How is that not on the nightly news tonight? A Twitter rep goes on the record and says, listen, if you tweet like Trump did about the riots, when the looting starts, the shooting starts. No, that's definitely going to get a warning label and no one can share that. But when you're the Iranian Death to America mullahs tweeting for a mass genocide, don't worry, that's A-okay. Just don't put, we're calling for genocide when the looting starts, the shooting starts, and then you'll be okay. This is real. This is real. They go, Joe, at one point, this is the member of the Knesset, the female voice you heard.
Yeah.
She goes, I just want to be clear on this. You can call for genocide, but if you comment on a riot in an area and looting, you're going to get a warning label, but not in a call for genocide? Mass extermination? I'm just so just to be clear. So by Twitter's own rules, he wouldn't do it. But if Trump were to comment on and recommend the genocide, he's okay. But commenting on the riot, he's not okay. Citing the Iranian example. No, the Iranians are allowed to do it. Is this real? Are we living on planet Earth? You understand now why I'm so frustrated? Not with liberals hate free speech. They love riots. That's their thing. Not all of them, but a good swath. They do. They will support any violence against courthouses. There's a large swath of liberal America, believe me, that loves chaos, violence, speech suppression, public humiliation for you, and that's their thing. I'm frustrated at the so-called conservatives because at Parlers, we've tried to build it. We have had more problems with conservatives. They complain. They're like, oh gosh, at one point they wanted a phone number at Parler. We only do that we don't store your phone number anywhere. We use it just to verify you're not a bot. We don't store it. But you'll love Twitter that actually sells your data and threatens to ban you if you're a conservative. I'm not kidding. We have had more issues with conservatives than anyone. They love Twitter. The fight is here. Oh, good luck with that. Good luck with that. Don't banish me. Banish me last. I'm sorry, but it's just, it's almost like tragically comical. Twitter stinks. Let's get an alternative. Okay, we'll give you an alternative. We don't want it. We love Twitter. The fight is here. You asked me for a phone number. We asked you for just to verify who you are. Twitter sells your data. We don't sell anything. We don't even store your data at all. Sorry, I shouldn't laugh. You've all been great. Seriously, but very generous. It's just, there's a small subset, I'm not kidding, very small subset of people that has no idea how bad Twitter really is. They really think the fight is there. They're playing cards, as I said yesterday, against someone with a marked deck, and you think it's a fight. It's not a fight. It is a censorship extermination of your ideology happening in live time. She just admitted it. If you're Trump, don't tweet about riots. But if you're an Iranian tweeting about a mass genocide, that's A-okay.
You just heard Dan Bongino.